You bought a pair of wireless headphones. Maybe you spent 60 pounds on them, maybe 150. They sounded great. The battery life was impressive. You used them every day, commuting, working, at the gym. And for the first year, they were genuinely one of the best purchases you'd made. Then the battery started dying faster, 6 hours instead of 10, then 4. Then you plug them in overnight, and by lunch, they're at 30%. And you go online to find a replacement battery and discover that on most headphones, including yours, the battery is glued inside a sealed unit with no official replacement path. The manufacturer's solution is to buy a new pair. That is not a coincidence. That is a business model. Today I'm breaking down how the headphone and headset industry runs one of the cleanest reliability scams in consumer electronics. The specific failure points that are engineered in rather than engineered out. How the marketing completely obscures this, and what to actually look for if you want a pair that will still be worth using in 5 years. Let's get into it. The headphone market is enormous and extraordinarily competitive. There are hundreds of brands, thousands of SKUs, and price points ranging from £5 to $5,000. That competition should, in theory, drive quality up. Instead, it's driven something else. A race to produce the most impressive sounding spec sheet at the lowest possible manufacturing cost, with longevity being the first casualty. Here's the fundamental problem. A pair of headphones has two jobs: produce sound and stay powered. The drivers, the actual speaker elements that produce the sound, are remarkably durable. A quality dynamic driver can last decades with normal use. There's nothing inherent to the act of producing sound that wears a driver out quickly. The sound quality of a well-built headphone does not degrade meaningfully over time. The battery is a completely different story, and manufacturers know this, which is why the battery is the centerpiece of the reliability scam. Every lithium-ion battery has a finite number of charge cycles before its capacity degrades significantly. For most consumer-grade lithium-ion cells, which is what virtually every wireless headphone uses, that number is somewhere between 300 and 500 full cycles before the battery holds noticeably less charge. If you charge your headphones every day, you hit 300 cycles in under a year. At that point, a battery that was rated for 25 hours might hold 15. By cycle 500, you're looking at 10 hours or less on a product that was sold on its battery life as a headline feature. None of this is secret. Battery degradation is well understood physics. Manufacturers know exactly how long their batteries will last. And rather than using higher grade cells, which exist, are used in medical devices and aerospace applications and cost more, or designing headphones so the battery can be replaced when it degrades, the vast majority of manufacturers seal the battery inside the headphone with glue and proprietary screws, making replacement either impossible for a consumer or expensive enough that buying a replacement pair makes more financial sense. This is a deliberate design choice. Replaceable batteries require slightly more internal space, slightly more design complexity, and slightly more manufacturing cost. They also eliminate a significant repurchase driver, so they don't do it. The second failure point is the hinge and headband mechanism. This is the part nobody thinks about when they're reading reviews, and it's where the build quality gap between a 30-pound headphone and a 300-pound one is most obvious. Most headphones use plastic hinges. The hinge is the most mechanically stressed part of the headphone. It flexes every time you put them on, take them off, fold them, or adjust them. On cheap headphones, this is an injection-molded plastic component with minimal reinforcement. On quality headphones, it's either metal or it's plastic with a metal internal armature, and the pivot points are designed to distribute stress rather than concentrate it. The result is predictable. Budget and mid-range headphones, particularly the folding kind, tend to crack at the hinge between 6 months and 2 years of daily use. It's almost always the same spot, right at the pivot point where the ear cup meets the headband arm. And when it goes, it usually goes suddenly and completely. A snap, and then one ear cup is dangling at a wrong angle. The headphone still works technically, but it's unwearable. Again, this failure mode is well known. Manufacturers see the return data. They know which models crack and when. Fixing it would cost maybe an extra pound per unit in materials and tooling. They don't fix it because a cracked hinge drives a replacement purchase, and replacement purchases are the goal. The third failure point is the ear pad material. This one is slightly less cynical. Foam and protein leather do genuinely degrade over time, regardless of how well they're made. But the gap between how long cheap pads last versus quality pads is dramatic, and it's entirely a materials cost decision. Most budget and mid-range headphones use a protein leather, which is marketing language for PU synthetic leather, over memory foam. This material starts to peel, crack, and flake typically between 1 and 2 years of regular use. Sweat accelerates it, heat accelerates it. Once it starts going, it goes fast. You end up with black flakes on your ears and shoulders, and the foam underneath stops providing either comfort or passive noise isolation. Quality headphones use either genuine leather, which lasts substantially longer, or velour, which doesn't peel at all. Some manufacturers also make replacement ear pads available as official accessories, which is the right way to handle a consumable component. Most don't. When your pads degrade on a sealed, glued battery headphone with a cracked hinge, you've hit the trifecta of planned obsolescence. The entire product is disposable. Now here's the marketing angle, because this is where it gets clever. The headphone industry competes almost entirely on two things: sound quality and features, active noise cancellation rating, driver size, frequency response range, Bluetooth codec support, aptX, LDAC, AAC, app integration, transparency mode. These are all real and measurable. They are also almost entirely irrelevant to how long the headphone will last. A pair of headphones with LDAC support, 30-hour battery life, and industry-leading ANC that falls apart in 18 months is objectively worse value than a pair with decent sound, 20-hour battery life, and a metal hinge that's still intact in year 6. But the spec sheet of the first pair looks dramatically more impressive, and that's what gets people to click add to cart. There are brands that do this right. Sennheiser has sold headphones with user-replaceable cables, ear pads, and in some cases headbands for decades. The HD 600 series are a legitimate example of headphones designed to be owned and repaired rather than replaced. Beyerdynamic similarly sells replacement parts for most of their catalog. Audio-Technica at the mid to high end. These are not the brands dominating the wireless consumer market, because the wireless consumer market rewards features over longevity. The right to repair movement has started to put pressure on headphone manufacturers specifically, and a small number of brands, most notably Nothing and a few others, have made repairability part of their pitch, but it's still the exception, not the norm. So here's what to actually look for. If you're buying wireless headphones, check whether the manufacturer sells replacement earpads. If they don't, that tells you everything about how they think about the product's lifespan. Check whether there are any teardown videos of the model. iFixit scores headphones and their repairability ratings are a genuinely useful signal. Look at the hinge. If it's all plastic with no visible metal reinforcement, it's a liability. And read 3-year reviews, not 3-month reviews. The 30-day impressions from a tech YouTuber will never tell you about hinge failures and battery degradation. The 2-year Amazon reviews will. If you want longevity and you're willing to give up wireless, a wired headphone from a reputable audio brand will almost certainly outlast any wireless alternative. The cable is replaceable. The drivers don't degrade. There's no battery to die. Some of the best headphones ever made are 30-year-old wired pairs that still sound extraordinary. The industry has successfully convinced people that wireless is the only serious option. It isn't. It's just the most profitable one for them. Subscribe if this kind of breakdown is useful to you. And if you've got a headphone failure story, and I suspect a lot of you do, drop it in the comments. See you in the next one.